Good morning, it's Wednesday the 26th of September today. It's very early, it's about 7:45 in the morning, and I'm up because I'm just about to set off to Blackpool. I am filming the press day today for The Wizard of Oz at the Blackpool Winter Gardens. I'm also interviewing Holly Tandy, who's playing Dorothy, and Kieran McGinn, who's playing the Scarecrow. Amelia's up, which I didn't think she would be before I went out. So she's here, but you're not coming, are you, today? You're staying with Nana. You're gonna be a good girl. Gonna be a good girl. Do lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! She does do it. I think she's still a bit tired. Are you still tired? You're dancing. Yeah, so I'm about to set off in a minute, and I'm going to be vlogging the day for you, so I hope you enjoy it. I've made it to Manchester train station. I'm just heading now to get the train to Blackpool. I've got 10 minutes to catch it. It's right over the other side of the station, so I'm hoping I can get on it. I made the train, I'm on it now, so on my way. Yeah, I'm excited. I've just arrived in Blackpool. The sun's out here, it's really nice. I've just come out of the train station and there is a big, I don't know if you can see it, there's a big poster up there for The Wizard of Oz, which is nice to see, just as you come out of the station. It started at 11 o'clock, but the cast are actually on the pier doing like a photo opportunity. They've turned it into a little yellow brick road, so I'm going to head up there, see if I can catch them there. Not sure if I will because the train was late, but we'll see. We've got the cast who are on the tram to the airport. We're seeing them later on. Holly Tandy, Kieran McGinn and Kelvin Fletcher. And of course we have Toto too. So, they are heading. It's a nice day, but it's really windy, so it's making it really hard to get the shots. So, I'm going to head up there now. I've just spoken to Paul, who is, I think he's like the head of like everything that's going on. So yeah, I'm going to meet them up there. I'm going to do some more shots at the Winter Gardens where it's a little bit less windy. Hopefully I won't look as windswept. Yeah, so I'm heading up there now. So that was the yellow brick road section of the day. I'm now heading back out into Blackpool for, wow, I look like a ghost. I'm heading back out into Blackpool for just an hour or so, just until the press launch starts. I promised Amelia I'd try and bring her a present back, so we'll see what we can find. I think the beach is going to be a no-no because I think the tide will still be in, which I'm sad about because I love the beach, but we'll see. I can always try later after the press launch, I guess, before I come home. So let's go see what we can find. Whoa, the bird nearly took my head off. Let's go see what we can find for Amelia. Sorted. I've managed to win her a paw from the Selladoor, so she'll be happy. It's now, I think it's about 12:30, so I am going to head back up to the Winter Gardens, give myself a little bit of time when I get there to like brush my hair and get myself sorted and ready, and then press launch time.
The Wizard of Oz is an adaptation of the Royal Shakespeare Company's musical version from the 1980s. It's directed by Cressida Carey and produced by the Selladoor family branch, Selladoor Worldwide. So let's get on to the cast members, which is the bit I'm sure you are waiting for. It stars Emmerdale favourite Kelvin Fletcher as the Tin Man, X Factor sensation Holly Tandy as Dorothy. She's just finished in Officer and a Gentleman, Kira McGinn as the Scarecrow. Scott Gallagher, who you may have heard on air with me in the morning because he's from our breakfast show. He is the Cowardly Lion, but unfortunately can't be here today. But we are lucky enough to be joined by the costume designer, Sarah McCarty. She'll be joining us on the panel today. So if you'd put your hands together, please, and welcome the cast of Wizard of Oz. Now, firstly, we actually do have a little treat for you and also a little teaser of what is to come this Christmas. If I could please invite Holly Tandy to come over and sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. There's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, why can't I? Thank you.
That was absolutely stunning. Thank you so much, Holly. Thank you. Okay, so we've got our Dorothy, we've got our Tin Man, we've got our Scarecrow. The lion's on holiday somewhere. But we are missing a crucial role. We're missing Toto, yes? So can we please welcome our little Totos to come through? It's Teddy and Pasha.
auditioned it, we saw it on Facebook on the Gazette, and we just thought, might as well give it a go. And we got it. And he's very cute.
And there was loads of dogs, wasn't there, as well?
Yeah, quite a few dogs, yeah. So I was pretty surprised that he got it. He did really well.
Tell us a little bit about Teddy.
Teddy's 1 year old. He's a Yorkshire Terrier cross with a pot of Dale. And he just...
He's very wriggly today. He's very wriggly today.
Yeah, he's very wriggly. He's tired.
Oh, lovely. He was one of the sweet, as you can say, I helped audition Teddy, and he was one of the sweetest little dogs, and you could like pick him up and everything. It was lovely. Thank you very much, Yvonne. Thank you. Holly, tell us about your role.
About what? Sorry?
Your role.
Oh, sorry, I misheard you. Yeah, I'm super excited. It's such like an iconic role, and I was reading a bit about it the other day, and Jude Garland was actually 16 when she did I think 16, 17 when she auditioned for the part, and I'm 17, so it's fitting really well, and I'm super excited. It's going to be a great experience, and cast are also they're all right. So we all get on really well, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Ellie, you looking forward to playing it tonight?
Yes, hello everybody. I am looking forward to Tin Man. An hour ago we just did a little photo shoot on the promenade, and I was had all my costume on, so it's not the easiest to move around in. I was a little bit worried that if should we have a fire alarm or anything like that, then I'll probably be the last to leave. I'll probably be left here. So, but no, it's great. A hugely popular show. So I can't wait to start. We start rehearsing in November, and then obviously we're up here at the start of December. So I can't wait. And back in Blackpool as well. I'm from just about 30 miles away from here, north of Manchester. But probably like most, I remember Blackpool as a child coming here for holidays. Many happy memories of Blackpool. So hopefully Blackpool will be just as kind this time when I'm performing on stage for you guys.
Tell us about your part of the Scarecrow.
So
You're
it's
straight off doing another production, aren't you?
yeah. I just finished in a tour of An Officer and a Gentleman, based on the film. So it's nice to go to another musical based on a film. This is the RSC adaptation of the original film. The part is a really interesting one actually, because he's looking for a brain, and when he meets Dorothy he kind of doubts his own intelligence, but throughout the course of the show and the musical makes lots of very sort of instinctive decisions and insightful comments about their journey. So not to spoil the ending, but it sort of turns out that maybe he has intelligence all along. But yeah, I think it's quite a physical part because he's stuffed full of straw. So as an actor, it's going to be quite interesting to try and embody that. Not quite there yet, but that's what rehearsals are for. So look forward to getting on with that. I'm very excited. These guys have been having a lot of fun today in the photo shoot. The straw was blowing all over the place down on by the North Pier, so you might find a few bits tussling in the wind. But it's been good fun.
And Sarah, this is one of the most visual shows you can watch, isn't it, on a production? So the costumes must be immense. Tell us about them, because that's what you're in charge of.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm the costume designer, so I'm in charge of creating the costumes for the production. It's been a really interesting process, because obviously the original design for the film and other stage productions is so iconic. So the challenge is to create original costumes that kind of honour that and give the audience kind of the things that they're kind of expecting to see. So like, the kind of the gingham and the green witch, but also kind of put our own spin on it. So there's like a few surprises in there as well. So it's a really fun show to do, especially there's loads of really brilliant ensemble characters like that you don't even think about, like crows and trees and obviously the Munchkins and all the people in the Emerald City. That it's a lot of fun.
A lot of fun and a lot of it. There's so many characters, isn't it?
Yeah, there's loads of characters. I think we're gonna there's about kind of 80 costumes in total, so it's visually very exciting.
And finally on the end there we have Pasha, our rubber Toto as well. So can you tell us a little bit about how Pasha got the role?
Well, We went on the day, didn't expect to get it whatsoever, but you know, it was quite nerve-wracking, and yeah, that's all it is. Yeah.
She's great, isn't she, Patrick? Because she can do loads of tricks as well.
Yeah. It kind of works to my advantage when I'm training because it develops the bond and things, so it makes it easier for me.
So has training started yet?
Yeah, already. Yeah, it's
Yeah?
already started. It started when we got the part, as soon as we got the part. So yeah.
Getting ready. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys. We're going to now start the question and answer session, but I'm just going to start with a few that we've had on social media. So, question number 1. Are you all fans of the movie? I think it goes without saying, doesn't it? Yeah, everybody all fans of the movie? Anyone watched it as a child?
Yeah.
Grown up watching it? There we go. That was pretty easily answered, wasn't it? Next question. I know you just said, have any of you been to Blackpool before?
Who's not been to Blackpool?
Yeah, I used to visit with my family when I was younger, and with friends as well, and I always thought it was great. We went to Pleasure Beach actually. I got whiplash on one of the rides, but we'll not talk about that because I won't be doing that around Christmas time. But yeah, I love the place, it's beautiful. It's character. You know, I'm a Northern girl myself, so there's a good saying that the more north you get, the nicer you get as well. So.
I agree. I travelled here about 6 years ago with the production, and I fell in love, like the lights and everything, and the warmth of the place. That sort of stuck with me. So yeah, it's nice to be back.
Lovely, thank you. Another question. This is the musical adaptation from the Royal Shakespeare Company, which first premiered in 1980. Can you tell us a bit more about the story, music, and how closely this piece is to the actual Judy Garland film? Who would like to answer that?
Yeah, so obviously the film is so iconic, as you mentioned before, in terms of the style, in terms of the plot, and everybody can, even without seeing the film, can identify with so many of the isms that the film generated. The script obviously had to change certain things because they work in a film and they don't quite work on stage. So there's a few adaptations, but it's very true actually to the spirit of the film. Each of the characters comes across in a very similar way, but there's a few songs that didn't make the film, and some of the songs, as you heard when Holly sang Over the Rainbow, there's parts of the songs that because obviously a film needs to cut certain things, you get the full songs in the musical, so you get to appreciate the real story in each of the songs. And as you said, there's some characters in the film that again don't feature very much, but they have a bit more prominence in the show. So it's got a few interesting differences, but the actual spirit of it is very, very close to basically Frank L. Baum's original story. Like, it's such a good story, it didn't really need a lot of changing.
Thank you very much, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to open it up to you guys now for some question and answers. If you just raise your hand for me, and I'll come over to you with a microphone if you have a question.
We haven't read The Wizard of Oz yet. Is there any part of the story you think we will really enjoy?
I think I'll give that to Holly. Any part that you think they'll really enjoy?
Okay, so I love when they eventually getting Oz, and I also love any scenes with the wizard. I think you'll really enjoy that. I think it'll all be different in its own right and everything. And it's just such a fun play, and I'm really glad that you guys are coming to see it, and it'll be great to see you there.
Remember, obviously, Ollie was in the X Factor about a year ago. I wonder if you could maybe tell us what she's been doing in the year since, please.
Yeah, well obviously I've got this role, which is fantastic, but I've also been writing a lot of my own music, working with different producers, working closely with a guy that has wrote quite a lot of Ella Henderson's tracks. I'm just really getting into the writing element of it now, and that's been really fun, and I'm hopefully flying to Nashville, not next week, the week after, to record my first single. So yeah, so exciting stuff before I obviously come to Blackpool and do this, but I'm hoping to do more musical theatre in the future as well, just a bit of everything really. Thank you.
How did you think of all those designs?
Is this for Sarah?
Yeah.
Is this for Sarah?
It's a very good question. So I I haven't actually watched the film again. I wanted to kind of get that out of my head. So I kind of do a different process for each character individually, kind of think about what makes them who they are as a character, and then I kind of start gathering references and colours and textures and kind of do a big mood board, and then kind of put that all together and you know, hash out lots of sketches, and then eventually you kind of come to a finished thing that kind of hopefully embodies like the spirit of each character. And you kind of try to communicate the character, but also kind of the setting and the time and the place, the atmosphere of that scene. So it all kind of there's a lot of different things that go into the costume design.
Well, what was it like winning X Factor in 2017?
Well, I didn't win it. Just get my main violin out. Yeah, no. Being on the show was a really good experience. It's different to how it seems. Do you know what I mean? It's you know, it's strange living in that experience, and you know, I got to live in a house with some really talented people and work with some amazing stylists and you know, producers and everything. So the whole experience was amazing, and I wish I could do it again, knowing what I know now. But saying that, it's been you know, such a life-changing thing for me, and I wouldn't be here if I'd not had that. So I hope that answers your question.
Did you always aspire to be an actress?
No, actually. I'd love to say yeah, but I've always just aspired to be on stage really. Singing's my main thing, you know, I love music and everything. But I'm classically trained, so singing, you know, in this musical theatre style is something I've always dreamed of. But the acting side has come later on. Kind of wanted to, you know, venture into that a little bit sooner after X Factor. So yeah, super excited to start my acting, hopefully, career, I'll say now, in inverted commas, because will it work out? We'll see.
I just wondered whether or not any of the actors would have preferred to have another part, like the Tin Man, the Scarecrow, or the Scarecrow being there. Or was that the part that you wanted?
I mean, I'd take the witch, but...
I actually wanted the part of Dorothy. I thought that put a good twist on it. No, I think, you know, as actors, singers, dancers, I guess you can visualise yourself in many different parts, but ultimately, you know, I'm sure the producers and the directors will have their set visualisation of how they see you and that adaptation. So, you know, this is a far cry from what I've played of late, but now I'm thoroughly looking forward to playing the Tin Man, and we'll see. Hopefully they've made the right decision. I'm sure they have.
Did you get nervous before going on stage, even though you have done Emmerdale for so long?
Well, I've not been on stage yet. I have been on stage, but not with this production. I don't really get nervous, no. I think when you're acting, you have to be quite confident, and you have to remember that you're portraying, you're playing somebody else, you're playing a character. So that's sometimes quite useful when you can tell yourself that it's not really you who's up there, you're just pretending to be somebody else. So with doing that, you gain confidence and you lose what we call inhibitions, which can sometimes hold you back a little bit. So obviously when I've been on Emmerdale, it's been on TV, and TV is very different. We obviously have TV cameras, and the crew can be quite a lot, but it's obviously nowhere near as many people as would be in the theatre. So doing things on theatre and on TV and film is very different. But I think as an actor, as performers, we'd like to think that we're capable in all different mediums. So I'm sure on the opening night I'll be a little bit nervous, but I'm sure there's actors who have got different ways to get around that, and you know, maybe an alcoholic beverage just beforehand will help me, but I'm not sure. That's not been my protocol of previously, but I'm looking forward to it. I think the excitement and the intimacy of having the crowd right there with you, and it's December time, it's Christmas time, so there's always a really good feeling, a really good atmosphere. Obviously illuminations will be on as well, so I don't think there's a better time to be in Blackpool, so hopefully that'll convey in our performances, and it'll be a confident and a great performance that you guys will witness.
I've got a quick question actually, because being the Tin Man as well, you've got some heavy makeup on, haven't you? I just wondered, what are you using and how long does it take, and does it come off easy at night with a wipe?
Well, I had a shave last night. This is the second time I've shaved in about 10 years. The first was the first photo call, and the second was today. So it feels very bizarre for me to not to have any facial hair. I normally have a little bit of stubble, so I feel like a 5-year-old. Does it really? I don't think it does. I've not had some. My wife hates it. I went in last night. She was like, "Oh, you look awful." I said, "Don't worry, I'll be painted silver, so you won't see." I think I'll spend probably the longest I've ever spent in makeup. Normally in TV you can be in and out within 20 minutes, but I think maybe 40 minutes or so I'm still being painted silver, and so yeah, that's going to be a challenge I think every night to wipe it off, because obviously if I don't wipe my paint off, I'll be going home and I'll be waking up in the morning with a silver pillow. So, but this is what I'm excited about. I've never had to kind of have such drastic and dramatic makeup like that, and costumes as well. So this is all for me part of the excitement and the reason why I wanted to to do my first musical. I've only done musical theatre as a child actor really, so I've not done anything professionally for many years. So I can't wait to get on stage, get back on stage, and get in that musical theatre, surrounding with with some great talent on and off the stage, and hopefully we'll all look good, and I'll look pretty good as Tin Man. I mean, I'll look all right there. We've had a different costume since there. I've had a slightly different costume today. I was fully metal today. The Scarecrow's got a different face as well.
In the book, Dorothy's shoes are silver, but in the film they are red. Which do you prefer and why?
So, this is a very interesting question. Silver's quite, daytime. Silver could be like, I'm nipping to the shop, or I'm going for lunch or brunch with my friends, but red, that's sassy, that, innit? I feel like once I get those red slippers on, I'm going to be able to get into the role a little bit more, because it's very iconic to Dorothy's kind of like persona and everything. So I think that to answer your question, red is the colour.
Is it hard to remember your lines?
Well, we haven't learnt them yet. So yeah, it's super difficult to remember his lines. Well, I've read the first page, but yeah, rehearsal started in November. I'm guessing so. I actually got a role when I was younger, in year 6. I never got picked for anything. I was a tree once, I had to say the lines whoosh, so that wasn't difficult. However, when I got this big role when I was in, I said big, it was only a school production, but it felt massive. It felt like I was at Winter Gardens. I remember really struggling with the words, because I'm a little bit dyslexic. However, nothing can stop me. When we did the audition, we had to learn a few lines for the audition, didn't we? So, and I really enjoyed doing that. I think it's, it's good to learn new skills, and learning words and stuff is great, but I dread to think if any of us forget them on the night. There'll be someone shouting up, won't there? Oz!
What did you do at X Factor?
Hi Alex. I liked how you introduced yourself then. That's cool. Hi, I'm Alex. What did I do at X? Did you say what did I do at X Factor? What act? Oh, singing. But yeah, I do like pop music. I'm kind of veering away from that now. I want to maybe go to a little bit country, because it's a huge market, and I don't know, it's a bit cool, isn't it? Like, I think there's a lot of young girls trying to be pop stars these days, and you've got to do something different to stand out. And it's hard when you're good, it's even harder when you're great. I mean, no, it's hard when you're great, good. You get what I'm saying. But yeah, you've got to kind of have that edge. And I suppose where I've been, not going wrong, but where I've kind of blended into everybody else is me doing the pop and kind of like come across as everybody else. But yeah, so with the country, hopefully I have a little bit of an edge to make a bit more of a name for myself. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Obviously loads of young people here today, and the Winter Gardens does loads of work with schools and with young people as well, and Blackpool's the home of entertainment. There's loads of schools here where people can learn performing arts skills. Just wondering about how you got to where you were, and any tips for any young people who'd like to be where you are in however many years' time. Yeah. And that's not just performing, but behind the scenes as well.
Great question. I was maybe 7 or 8 years old when I started performing arts, singing, acting. I even did ballet dancing, tap dancing, anything that meant I could be centre of attention, performing in front of my friends and family, I kind of did. So perseverance was my biggest thing. I was quite a thick-skinned young kid, and whatever rejection I did get, which was quite a lot. You have to remember that if you're going into this sort of industry, it can be quite brutal in many, you know, there could be 10 people auditioning for one part. So I think for me, what I learned quite early on was the art of resilience and to not take anything personally, you know. So the amount of auditions I've been to over the years and not been successful, even, you know, recent times as well. So just to be persistent and to keep kind of following the old cliche about following your dreams. I only ever wanted to do this. I only ever wanted to perform, act on stage, act in films, act on TV. And I've just continued to do that from being, like I say, 7 or 8 years old. So, yeah, all the no's I've had have kind of never really deterred me. I've just carried on and doing what I love. So I've been very fortunate. I've had, you know, I've had a career, a professional career, which is, you know, an achievement in itself, really, in this industry. So I'm very proud of my achievements I've had, and a lot of the time it's luck as well. You know, I've been at the right place at the right time. But hard work, a good strong work ethic, and like I say, perseverance has played a key role in my success.
I was just going to say that it's quite nice that we've all come at it from very, very different perspectives. So it just kind of shows that there's no sort of set way of doing it. The thing about acting and performing is it's drawing on your life. So as much sort of as much as you can take from life, like studies, character studies, and observing people, that sort of informs a lot of what you do. I again just got into productions when I was young, and then decided it was something I wanted to do. Had the lessons, you know, singing lessons, acting lessons, dance lessons as well. And then I went to Guildford School of Acting to sort of hone them. But in my career, I've been playing with people who have come in it from so many different places, some who have trained professionally and some who haven't. But actually, the real thing is, the essence of being a good performer isn't necessarily something you can train. I think you just, you sort of have it by passion, you have it by observing and really engaging with the world, and then you bring that into the artistic work as well.
To kind of, sorry, I didn't switch up to you. To kind of incorporate what you were both saying, and like you said, the kind of like the art of being a raw, you know, talent is a big thing, but also it's, you know, it's perseverance, it's passion for what you do, it's waking up at, you know, a set amount of time in the morning and getting up and having that kind of like, you've got to think outside the box really, you know, you can't just think, because I used to do work in men's clubs, you know, I'd be getting ready in a cupboard, I'd be singing to, you know, one person in there, bloody Amy Winehouse. And you've got to think outside of that, you've got to keep on dreaming, you've got to, you know, kind of keep your head in the game. And the same with the nerves, like I got, you know, really badly bullied through school. You know, people always told me I couldn't do it and I'd never ever make a career out of it. And yeah, here I am. So you've just got to kind of don't listen to the people that put you down, or the people who throw shade, or, you know, the no's that you get, use them to drive you and, like you say, give you resilience. Because that's something that's really important and that you definitely need in this industry. So yeah, that's all I'll say about that.
Yeah, I guess similarly in kind of what I do in design, it's I guess similar to performing in terms of you have to have like so much passion and determination, because it is like similarly competitive and it's very long hours, and you have to kind of really, really love what you do to kind of like keep your energy up. But I was quite lucky in that I came to it through like a relatively traditional route, because I realised like quite early on when I was like 16 that like costume design was like the thing that I wanted to do, because I was always really into art, but also really into like literature and kind of plays and reading like books and stuff. And then when I was studying textiles, we did this project where you had to design a piece of clothing for a character from a book, and I was like, oh my god, like this is it. And then from then on I was like, okay, costume design is what I want to do, so kind of went to uni and then started working in the industry really. So, but people, similarly to what these guys are saying, lots of people that I work with come with it from really different areas. So you could be from like an art kind of background, or a performance background, or there's kind of lots of different routes into it. So, yeah.
Lots of hard work, passion and perseverance by the sound of it then to get into that sort of industry. We just had, a question from the back, and it's for the Totos, because we want to know what experience the little Totos have had. So Siobhan, Teddy.
No experience really. This is his first thing doing anything like this at all.
Has he become a diva since getting the role?
I think he's always been a diva, but yeah, I think he just loves photos and just people, so he's quite good for the role.
And I was going to say, and Pasha?
Again, same as Teddy, she's barely done anything, obviously, since now, and it's a great experience, and I hope she does really well, so yeah.
Now I know Pasha can do a few tricks, can't she?
Yeah.
Could she do one today?
We could try.
Shall we give it a go? I know she does it for treats.
Yeah, she could do, yeah.
Okay, the floor is yours. Let's see what she can do. Oh, it's been a long day. Well done, Pasha. My question's for Holly. Are you looking forward to working with Teddy and Pasha?
Yes, I absolutely love dog. God, can't even speak. I love dogs that much. I've actually lost my speech. Yeah, no, I love dogs, and they're super cute. And I feel like we're getting on pretty well, aren't we? Nothing. It's a one-sided friendship here, but yeah, I'm super looking forward to them. But I'm just kind of like concerned, like, what if any of them take a doo-doo on stage? Like, no one has considered this, right? Did any of you think of that when you were thinking we'll have a real-life Toto? How long was the production again? No, as in on a night. Bloody hell, it's a long production, isn't it? 3 weeks later, we find Oz. Yeah, yeah, that's going to be difficult, that. Better behave, but we'll have to make sure that they've maybe not eaten before or after. Or...
There's going to be at least one accident on that stage.
We'll improvise.
Yeah.
I'll just ignore it. I'll just be like, awkward.
Does it feel itchy in the scarecrow costume?
That's a very good question.
It's a really good question. Actually, no. I grew up for quite a long period on a farm, and me and my brothers and sisters used to sleep in the stables. So having straw next to my skin doesn't actually irritate me, but it might for some people. But I actually found it quite a normal thing to have. I mean, it probably got a little bit still attached to me now. But thank you. That's a good question.
Did you choose to be the Tin Man, or were you selected?
I auditioned for this role. So sometimes you're asked if you want to play a certain part, and other times you have to audition. So a lot of times I have to audition for various parts, and like I said before, sometimes you don't get the parts that you want, and that's just part and parcel of being an actor, I guess, and being in this industry. So when I auditioned, my agent called back and said, "You've got the part." And then fast forward, I think 6 months, and we're here now. So I don't know who else they auditioned for the role of the Tin Man.
Yeah, I auditioned for Tin Man.
Yeah, Holly auditioned for Tin Man, but she didn't get it.
Yeah, so my I
thought it would be better with me. So, but yeah, that's what you do as an actor. You audition, and like I say, sometimes you get the part, sometimes you don't. So when I found out I was playing Tin Man, I was very happy. And I just couldn't wait to get the outfit on, get painted silver, and perform for you guys.
Who's your favourite character?
love your headband, by the way. Super cool. And we're nicking that on the way out. Yeah, my favourite character. I feel I'm going to get beat up after this by the people that I didn't say. I'm going to say someone not here, because then that rules that thing out. I quite like the wizard. Also the witch. We haven't met her yet, have we? But yeah, looking forward to meeting the witch, and she's probably my favourite. And the wizard.
I agree. I think my favourite character is the witch. I think it's the most interesting story, And if you've ever heard of the books that are written about the other side, where maybe the witch isn't as evil as we paint her to be in one production, so it's quite nice to think that a character has their distinct reasons for making decisions, and nobody is outright evil. They just have their wants and their desires, and so it's quite an interesting character for me as well. The witch, I think that she's my favourite.
My favourite is Tin Man.
That's lucky, isn't it?
I presume it sounds like this is a completely new production with a completely new cast. If that's the case, if I could have a nod from someone, that would be helpful. Yeah? Opening in Blackpool in the north of England, which has got to be a good thing. I'd like to ask, is it following on with a tour, nationwide tour? Thank you.
Yeah, at the moment it's a stint that's just been put in for over the Christmas period. But whether Selladoor are renowned for doing lots of interesting tours and things, they've currently got Flashdance on the road, Fame, and they've done American Idiot and Little Shop of Horrors. So this is potentially something that they could roll out, but again, that all depends on the producers themselves. As far as we're concerned, it's at the moment just a Christmas time show.
I hope they do a tour, anyway. Can you imagine? Blackpool's amazing, North of England and everything. Yeah, it's winning. But imagine if we could go all around the world. Keep dreaming.
What snacks do you eat backstage?
You're our favourite person now, because we're such foodies, aren't we?
Yeah, we sat down and said, right, we had a competition, pretty much how many sandwiches can you fit in your gob before we go have interviews. Yeah, to answer that question, I'm awful at cooking, but I'm great at eating. So, I eat out a lot. My friend sat in the audience, she knows that. Pretty much all my money that I make goes on food. So yeah, to answer your question, we haven't really spent much time together yet, so we don't know what we snack on, but what we just had was great.
Anything with dark chocolate in, cookies, popcorn, that's usually a win. I usually have a bag of popcorn backstage. Yeah, it can be a bit awkward when you have a bit in your tooth in the middle of a scene, but I'm sure you'll pretend it's not there, right?
Yeah. What was your favourite subject at school and why?
For me, it was art. I loved doing art, and actually I went to an art school before I ever performed. And even now, because as an actor, like Kelvin said, sometimes you're working, sometimes you're doing great projects, and then sometimes you're not. And so in those times I will take commissions and do little portraits and paintings and things, and that's what I do when I'm not actually on stage or doing other acting roles.
For me, history, sorry to be boring, but history was my favourite subject. My granddad used to tell me tales of when he was in the war and how it was in his day, but that really, really fascinated me. We sat on a tram before, I think that was built in 1926, so when I was reading the information about it, so much of a geek I was obsessed with it, and not that it's nostalgia because I'm obviously too young to remember that, but for me, I find it fascinating with how the world's changed, so history going back as far as, Jurassic, without boring you too much. So history was my favourite subject, and I was a little bit of a geek when it came to history. So.
Does anybody else love history?
Oh,
there
just
you go.
one. Oh, two, please. Oh, thanks for that, guys. I'll pay you on the way out.
That's the most geekiest answer ever. We're all learning stuff about each other here as well. We've established that Kelvin's a big geek, so yeah. Simple answer to that for me is I hated school, so I like music, kind of, sometimes. And lunchtime is great as well, so apart from that, I hate it.
Yeah, probably quite obviously my favourite subject was art as well. I was always scribbling kind of 24/7 and would stay after school till the late hours. So yeah, I was definitely an art geek.
We are putting a production at the end of the year. Do you have any advice?
make sure you know your lines, or know if you've not got your lines, make sure you know where to stand or when to dance or whatever it is you're doing. And listen to your teachers, to your directors. And yeah, like I said before, the most important thing is that you enjoy it. And yeah, that's my advice to you. Good luck. Let me know when it is and I'll come and watch. And if there's a part going spare, you know, we don't start rehearsing until November, so I'm not doing anything in October, so I'm you know, only a small part. I only want a small part.
Yeah, same to me, really. Just enjoy it, really. You know, have fun with your friends, but take it seriously too, because it's a good experience. It's a good way to see if that's maybe something that you enjoy, something you want to do in the future, just out of interest. Does anyone want to get into the performing kind of world? Just the one of you. Well, oh, 2, 3, oh, they're all putting their hands up now, aren't they? A few of them did, and they were all like, yeah, me. But yeah, enjoy it, and I would love to come watch too. Except I'll just stay in the audience, so you can have a part. I'll just cheer you on.
I would say listen a lot, because as you say, you learn your lines and you want to deliver them, so you put a lot of effort into saying what you want to say, but also it's important how you react and listen to what the other people around you are saying on stage too. So that's my little piece of advice as well.
I just say, like, support each other and work together as a team, because some people might have big parts and some people might have small parts, but like, it's when you all kind of come together that like everything really works. So just kind of take care of each other and yeah, work together.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I'm here with Siobhan, and this is Teddy, who's playing part of the dog, top part. That makes more sense. He's one of the dogs playing Toto. Teddy. We just heard all about him because we just filmed a press launch. So I just wanted to get a little shot of him. Teddy. Good boy. I just wanted to I'm here with the other Toto now. This is Pasha, and sorry, what's your name?
Alicia.
Alicia. Pasha. Hello. Hello. Oh, you're so cute. I'm getting kisses. I just have to say as well, look at her collar. Let's see if I can show you. It's really hard doing it from this angle. Let's flip it back. Look. Wizard of Oz collar. That is so cool. Do you mind me asking where you got that from?
I don't actually know, because my mum organised it. It was one of her friends, apparently, that's all she's saying, so I don't actually, I'll tell you if I knew, but I don't, I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's gorgeous over for my dog. Although my dog would just ruin it.
No problem. Yeah.
Hello, Pasha. Hello. Just going to slot this little clip in here. I'm just editing this video together now, and it's already nearly an hour long with the whole press conference. So what I've decided to do is my own interviews with Holly and Kieran. I'm going to split from this video and I'm going to do 2 separate videos. So there's going to be like an interview with Holly and an interview with Kieran. I will link those on the end of this video if it will let me do it. If not, then I will put the links in the description below, so make sure you do go and check those out as well, because I had really lovely chats with both of them. They're both so lovely, but I just didn't realise how long it was going to be with the whole press conference and stuff, and I just don't want to, like, I don't want the video to go on and on and on and on, so I'm just going to split it up. And then, like, if people are looking for my own individual interviews, they're easier to find as well, rather than skipping through a whole video. So yeah, my interviews with Holly and Kieran will be in 2 separate videos. You can find the links below. Make sure you go and check them out, and enjoy watching the rest of the video. Of course, you can't come to Blackpool and not see the sea, especially when you're me, because I love the sea. It's like my favourite place in the world. So yeah, today has been really, really, really good. I've really enjoyed it. The whole cast are absolutely lovely. Holly, that voice, wow, and she's just absolutely gorgeous as well. She's even said that she wants to do a YouTube collab at some point, which would be fantastic. If she's still up for that, I would definitely be up for that. Hopefully I'll get to come along to a few more press events now for some more shows, because I've really enjoyed it. I'm just going to head down onto the beach now for a few minutes while the tide's out enough for me to actually get on it, and then I'm going to head up to the train station and go home, see if I can get home before my baby girl goes to bed, because I've missed her today, but I've got her a present to take back. She's got a Teletubby that I won in the arcade, so hopefully she'll be happy. But yeah, thank you so much to Selladoor and to Paul for inviting me along, and to the whole cast for being so lovely. I've had an absolutely fantastic day, and I can't wait to come and see the show when it's on in December in Blackpool, so do get some tickets to come and see it if you are around the area, because it looks amazing. And Holly's voice, wow, just wow. I'm home, quite clearly, because I'm in my super comfy minion onesie. But yeah, I'm home. It is now, what time is it? 20 past 10. I left the house at 8 o'clock this morning, and I finally got home about an hour ago. So it's been a very long day. I'm very tired. Amelia was still awake when I got home, which I was happy about. She got a Teletubby, give her a Teletubby before bed, and she's tucked up now. I think she just wanted to see Mummy before she went to bed. But yeah, just a little recap. I've had an absolutely fantastic day. All the cast, absolutely lovely. I can't wait to see the show. Definitely going to be going to see the show because it looks amazing, it sounds amazing, and I mean, it's the Wizard of Oz. You can't go wrong. So yeah, Selladoor, if you're watching, and if you want me to come along and film any more press days or nights or whatever, interview cast members for any of your other shows, let me know, because I'm definitely up for that. I do know you've got Avenue Q coming up. Love that show. I auditioned for that show a few weeks ago. Didn't get in though. But yeah, do you know what I think would be really cool? To do like an interview with some of the puppets. I really want to do that. Can I do that, Selladoor? Please let me do that. Yeah, I want to do that. I'm getting carried away. I'm tired. I'm just blabbering now. But yeah, I've had a fantastic day. I'm not going to tell you about it because you've seen it. So thank you very much to Selladoor, to everyone at the Blackpool Winter Gardens, to Holly Tandy, Kieran McGill, Kelvin Fletcher, and anybody else that I've missed. I'm very sorry if I've missed you, but thank you to everybody that's made the day so fun. And yeah, thank you to you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to leave a comment and like and subscribe and all that stuff. I will leave all the links down below, to links where you can book your tickets to see the show, links to Holly's YouTube, which she said that she would send me on Twitter, links to all the rest of the cast, their social media, so you can go and follow them. Yeah, so make sure you get your tickets booked, like, subscribe, blah blah blah, and I'll see you soon. Bye.